Hey, YouTube, we're back.
And you're getting a double feature today because this second thing to the left of me having you. And I've been trying to help him the best that I can. But
You bro, you broke up a little.
maybe his YouTube fam can help him understand work on this issue. You tell the people what your issue is. Why don't you go and tell the people? Go and tell the people what.
My issue is I don't understand why she loves me because I don't have a job.
And he told me that he has trouble expressing his love, bro.
Which I do. I do. I just rather not.
He's because me and him have two different styles of loving. I'm and very affectionate, and he's a little bit more. I'm not saying he's not affectionate, but he's a little bit more reserved on how affectionate he is, especially in public. It's like, oh my God, help me. Um, but I love him, and I can love him openly and freely and all of that. And he he has an issue with that. Not an issue with me doing that, the issue knowing how to do that. When I'm on social media and all of these types of things like that or whatever like that, I post him. There's pictures of him on everything that I have. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. He's on everything. I at least try to post him at least once on follow me at Queen Method on Instagram. But once a week
Breaking up just a little. So you
I
might have.
I try to post him at least once a week. Once a week I try to, let him know that hey, this my bad, I love him, whatever. He has an issue expressing that. Now, he has told me that he's in love with me. And I believe that he is. But I also believe that he's afraid to express it. And I,
Because
and I don't have that same.
if y'all knew what my last relationship consisted of, y'all will understand why.
I mean, he's very, like, very affectionate towards me. Does stuff like that. He's very affectionate, but he's just af- on a social level. Like in public, he's very shy, and in private, well,
Because she wants me to be this public eye, but I got a surprise for her. I got a real big surprise.
and it's the thing that it doesn't bother me that not as public as I am, but I feel as though because of the way I love him, the way that I love him specifically, what my love language is. I feel like he shouldn't have an issue expressing how he feels. Like if you feel it, you feel it. It's not going away. It's not going to change. So you express it to the fullest of your abilities.
Because everybody always telling me I'm in my emotions all the time, and I think that has something to do with it. 27. It was my birthday.
Yeah, but I come from the start. Love somebody, you love them, regardless of what anybody says. You know,
And I tell her I love her, but in private. What's wrong with that?
it's nothing wrong with that, babe. It's just that the reason you give for not doing it publicly is that it's valid, but you're not with that person, so you're not getting that same treatment.
Because when I was in the last relationship, I'm gonna put y'all in my business. I was very publicly open about being with this person, but she was, I'm not gonna say the B word, but she was a straight up, you know what? And Jasmine knew her before I met her.
And I understand his experience and trauma of that, but while I do, I love him very much. And I don't have the issue of loving him openly. Matter of fact, he would say that I love him a little bit too hard. Because even when I physically see him, I'm just as affectionate, just as loving. It's the same kind of love, either in private or public. I love you the same way. If I love you, I love you. I don't- Like that's just how it is. The type of woman that I love you so good that I make it impossible for you to love me in the dark because I do things so good. I treat him like the king that he is. And I feel like he should not be afraid because, you know, it's different when you're in love by yourself, meaning that you're in love with the person, but the person ain't in love with you. But
And she feels like that's what I had in my last relationship.
I'm in love with this man. I probably am more in love with him than he is with me, but hey, nobody keeps score. But the thing I try to let him understand and know that he's not in love by himself. I'm just as in love with him as he is with me. And that's the difference in this relationship versus the last one. And that is why I feel like it's okay for him to tell me he loved me and all of that stuff because I don't.
And, like, even in text messages, he like, you forgot something.
Oh yeah, I be like, oh babe, you forgot, and he's like, oh yeah, I love you, like, because he's just so afraid to dive in, because he's afraid of getting hurt, and I was afraid of getting hurt when I met him. I went through that same fear of man, I don't know what to expect. I don't want to dive right in, but I'm glad I took a chance on him, and now I'm deep sea diving in that bed. Like everybody that knows me knows I'm with him and all those sorts of things, cause that's just what I do. And I always tell him,
And some people don't want us to be together.
now
P.
some people in my circle didn't really, I don't want to say like us being together, but really approve of us being together because of some of the things that he was doing. Though he has to take responsibility for the things he was doing, but at the same time, not doing them things no more. Now it's like I get the best version of him. And so I let the past be the past. I mean, he has been unfaithful. I'm not gonna sit here and act like he have not. He has. But we work through them things. I don't even talk about him cheating. He talks about him cheating more than me. Because I don't believe
I feel I feel like there was no need.
it might have not have been at that time, but it's I feel as though if I'm the person that happened and I got past the pain of it, I don't understand why he can't. Like it happened to me, and I was able to get past it. And the reason why is because me getting past that was more important than me spending the rest of my life without him. And he may not understand that. He may not grab that. I don't know. But I never wanted to permanently lose him. And while the breakups and all the things that we've been through have destroyed me when they first happened, it's like I'm glad we where we at right now. Because I'm gonna tell this story and I told him this story earlier today and I had never shared my thoughts about it, but I'm gonna do it here because this is a platform for me to do it and I wear my heart on my sleeve, believe it or not. We went through a situation at the beginning of last year, right around the insurrection. And we went through a situation where we broke up. And that was very painful because I was not expecting that at that particular time because there was no fighting, there was no nothing. And it was just like one of those things to where it was just like we over. And the minute those words came out of his face, even though I knew I had done some wrong, even though I had knew that and accepted that, I thought I had more time to fix it than what I was actually given. So
You always have time to fix it.
it was just utter shock. Like when he said we breaking up, I'm like, what are you talking about? We've been together for 5 years. Like, why? Just why? Like, why would you? Why would you do that? Like, I thought we was in a good space. You know, the pandemic was little rough. Okay, we had to be in lockdown and that sort of thing. So when the pandemic first started, it was a little hard, but it happened right around the time he was getting ready to go back to school, and everything was fine. You know, the last thing he said to me the day before we broke up was, you know, we was talking, and he said, "I'm going to bed." And I said, "Okay, baby, I love you." And he said, "I love you too." That was a Wednesday. By Thursday, he had recently bought a computer, which he still has. And he says, you know, earlier in that day, this the 14th of January, by the way. He says earlier in that day, like, babe, can you help me test the sound on my computer to see if it works? Because, you know, I'm be doing Zoom because I'm about to go back to school, whatever. So I said, yeah, I help or whatever. And we did some Zoom tests and we was talking on the Zoom. No problems, no static, no nothing. So I went and took a shower and got out. I was watching the Rockets and I think the Spurs were playing on TNT because it was a Thursday night. I had got out the shower. I'm laying in bed watching the game. I think it was James Harden's last game of the Rockets, if I'm not mistaken. Or they might have just traded him. It was one of those situations. But anyway, I'm watching the game. I'm just chilling. It's like 8 o'clock in the evening. I get a phone call from Bay because he usually call me and we talk until we fall asleep. That's what we had done for 5 years. So I'm like, oh, okay, we finna have normal, pillow talk and whatnot. And it's when he picks up the phone, I notice a tone in his voice, and I'm like, hey, what's the matter? What is it? Cause I picked up the phone like my normal self, like, hey, bang, and he's just like, hey. I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. Hey, like, I need to talk to you. I'm like, I need to talk to you. There's something I need to tell you. And I'm like, hey. He like, oh, no, I love you. And I'm like, yeah, babe, I love you too. And he was just like, what? We need to break up. I was like, say what? And he, I'm like, what? Wait a minute. What are you talking? Like, me and you, we breaking up. Why? Why? Like, you haven't been over, and I done gave you some years to come, and you haven't came. So I'm leaving. Hey, you can't just leave like this.
Uh-huh.
And when he left, y'all, when he hung up the phone and he left, I I I just lost it. Like, I just lay in bed in tears because I was in utter shock. I I couldn't believe it. And I'm laying in the bed, I'm crying, like I'm just crying. And I'm trying to watch the game, and I remember just looking at the TV, and my eyes are all glassy eyed because I'm crying. It's a mess. And I called my cousin on Facebook Messenger, just bawling. And she's like, "What happened, cousin? Why you crying?" And I'm just like, Raphael left. And she's like, "What? Y'all seem so happy." And I'm like, "Yeah, he left me. He gone. He left me." She was like, "What happened? What did you do?" I'm like, "I did wrong. I made some I made some mistakes, and I thought I had more time to fix it than I actually did. And time ran out on me and he left. And I just, I was crushed. My whole world was just crushed. I, I couldn't even talk to my other cousin who passed away now. I couldn't talk to her about it because I was just in so much pain and so much hurt. I couldn't eat. I didn't go to bed for 3 nights. I stayed up and I barely moved around my house. I barely did anything because I was just crushed. Like I couldn't even function. And I was telling myself like, man, you lost everything. You lost everything. Like the love of your life is gone. And it's all your fault. And I said, I was just so unbelievably hurt. And 'cause yo, he says that I'm cutthroat and all this stuff, but when it comes to him, I love him so much. I he's my world. He's the center of my universe, man. And to not have that was just it just it it, it just wasn't. And I worked my ass off to get him back because I didn't have no choice. I had lost everything. I felt like I didn't have nothing to lose anyway. I had lost everything. And I was just like, I have to try. Even if you don't take me back, I have to try. 'Cause I don't want to. I don't want to go through life thinking, what if I would have tried? We could have got back together. Things could have worked. And so I was determined. I was determined to get him back. I begged and pleaded with him for another chance. And I didn't know if I was going to get one. But if I didn't, I would have understood that I messed up. I did wrong. So he got sick and stuff. And we was in the hospital. And I was just saying to him, like, babe, if you forgive me, I promise I'm going to do right. I don't know because you let me down before. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But man, I promise I'm gonna do the right thing. Just forgive me. He he was like, I love you, but I just don't know. And I was like, that's fine. I deserve that. Cause I messed up. And I'm gonna give you one chance. We give you one chance to fix it. You don't come through, we done. I'm like, thank you, baby. I promise I'm gonna do the right thing. And he like, don't thank me yet, cause the day ain't got here yet. So I'm like, man, I hope everything go well. And it's like it did. Everything went well. Everything been okay ever since then. But I told that story to let him know that this shit ain't no play, man. I love this man, yo.
And it's not. It's really some
And like,
typical.
I have never cried over a nigga in my life. On my granny grave, I don't cry over niggas. I do not. Cause anybody that know me in real life, I don't give a fuck. But him, my cousin who passed away, had never heard me cry. And she known me for 30 years. I ain't never heard no motherfucking tears. I ain't never heard none of that shit. I called my cousin and broke the fuck down, bitch. I didn't care about no pride. I didn't care about none of that shit. I was losing it, okay? I was sobbing uncontrollably. And she's looking at me and listening to me like, what in the whole fuck is happening? I'm like, it just, niggas ain't never seen me be like that. Niggas said they ain't never seen me that sad since they met me, since we were little kids, bro. Like, the way this man had me, y'all, I have never felt like that over a nigga in my life. On my granny grave, I have not. Cause I don't. I mean, I care when I'm in a relationship and all that, but once it ends, nigga, I'm like, that's tough titty. But him, my baby man, my world man, I, I, I just couldn't hold it in no more, y'all. That's how much I love this man. Man, I'll run through a wall for this motherfucker, man. I love this man. I'll take a bullet for this nigga, yo. That's my baby, man. That's my heart, man. That's my everything. Like, losing him really got me to get my shit together. I lost my baby, man. I had to get my shit right, man. That pain of losing the love of your life, man, that shit hurt. I don't give a fuck what nobody talking about. That shit hurt. Even the toughest motherfucker, and I'm a tough ass bitch, man. But that shit crushed me, okay? And he don't understand why I feel the way I feel about him, man. But I mean, I love you, and it's like all my cutthroat went out the window, bitch. I didn't give a fuck about none of that shit at all. I missed my baby, man. That fucked my head up on my granny grave. That shit. I was losing it, bitch. I didn't care about nothing no more. I didn't give a fuck about shit no more. And then, like, when he came back, when we got back together, I was so happy. And I said to myself, you know, I'm not gonna do wrong no more. I'm gonna do the right thing. And me and babe been good ever since, man. But cause y'all gotta understand, this is not only my lover, this is my friend. And I care about all that shit the same, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit, mean the world to me that he forgave. Cause I really fucked up, y'all. I fucked up bad. And I didn't even know I fucked up. Cause I was just minding my own goddamn business. I didn't even know I fucked up. I didn't even know I was fucking it up the way I was fucking it up. I had no idea. I'm just oblivious as fuck. You know, running around doing my shit, doing my 1 2, not really knowing on the inside, you fucking up your shit at home. You fucking up your home. Shit that he told me that he felt when I was doing what I was doing. I didn't fucking know. I didn't know he felt none of that shit. I was like, what the fuck happened? Cause, cause one night we were still broken up and we were talking. I was talking about you. I love you, baby. I love you. And he was like, I don't believe, I don't believe you love me. And that shit out his mouth, my heart sank like a bitch. Oh, he don't believe me. What the fuck? I'm like, oh, I love you. And he was like, I don't know that. So it just that pain was a motherfucker, y'all. And I just had to share that story and teach him that I care about this man so much, bro. I couldn't even eat, bro. And I love food. And I couldn't eat nothing, bro. I couldn't even look at no motherfucking food, let alone eat it. I was absolutely devastated, crushed, done for. And he know that I love him that much, man. That's why he need to go on and just love me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my baby, man. He mean the world. He everything, man. But y'all thumbs up the video and all that, man. And like I said, you can follow me on Instagram at Queen Cutthroat. My bae gave me that name, by the way. That's why that's my name, cause they gave it to me. I love y'all, man. See y'all in the next video.